All right, guys. So before I get in this video, I have to say rest in peace to Mr. Colin Powell, who was a military general and Secretary of State. And apparently, from reports, it seems that he passed away from complications from the virus. Now, I understand that later on in Mr. Powell's life, he went from being, more Republican to, I believe he voted for Obama, and he kind of had a little bit of a change of heart politically. However, I really don't think that that's relevant as of right now. I mean, the man, again, is a decorated general. He served as Secretary of State. There's some people that are going to take political angles at this, but, when anybody passes away, whether or not I agree or disagree with them politically, them being a major figure, I do think it is important just to kind of put politics aside and just to say, hey, you know what, rest in peace to this person. It's obviously sad. He was a major figure in, American history, especially in the 2000s. So, hey, I just want to take time to just, say that and put that out there before I get into this video. Now, on to what this video is actually about, which is Biden, right? Sleepy Joe getting caught in D.C. violating the mask mandate at a posh Georgetown restaurant, okay? Living his life, right? Not following the rules. Again, I feel like I do a video about this like probably every week in which some Democrat is violating rules. This time, right, we have, the top Democrat, Joe Biden, the president of the United States, not following the rules while doing some fine dining. Now, this is a little bit personal to me. This is a little bit personal because I've been to DC, okay, over the last few months a few times, and they have some strict mandates in place, some very strict mandates. And let's just say I definitely was discriminated against quite a few times in DC, right? So with that being said, I just find it interesting how somebody like me, right, can get discriminated against in DC, but Biden can break the rules and nothing happens to him, right? Nothing happens to him, right? So again, this story is a little bit personal to me, and I'm going to keep talking about this, and we should keep talking about it because what I saw last year in regards to how the media covered the Trump administration when it comes to this virus, it honestly really kind of red pilled me on a lot of this stuff, right? So that's why, I just cannot let the Democrat hypocrisy go, and I will continue to call it out. But before I get in this, got to get a disclaimer, like always, not making any claims about masks, vaccines, the virus, the pandemic. I'm not making any claims whatsoever. If you have any questions about the mask, the vaccine, the pandemic, the virus, please consult your doctor. Please consult your trusted medical professional. I'm not making any claims whatsoever. This video is purely about public policy and public policy only. So let's read here. President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden were caught violating Washington, D.C.'s indoor mask mandate by walking through a high-end Georgetown restaurant without mask on Saturday. The maskless Bidens were recorded leaving Fiola Mare while flanked by masked Secret Service agents. The two dined at the pricey Italian seafood restaurant on the Pontiac River after attending a service at Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Georgetown, according to the Daily Mail. Okay, so typical. Right, typical, just like we saw at the Met Gala, just like we saw at one of those award shows that they be having, right? The people that are the rich and the elite and the powerful, they don't have to wear masks, okay? They don't have to follow the rules. They don't have to follow the guidelines, okay? They don't have to look out for other people's safety, right? But the peasants, Secret Service, right, the waiters, the staff, they all have to be masked up. Again, I'm telling you, this right here, here's the thing about the mask. It's become a symbol of class warfare. And this is literally being done by the elites actively because they're telling you we don't have to follow the rules, right? How many times have you seen Nancy Pelosi breaking her own rules? Okay, in California, in Napa Valley, doing fundraisers with rich Democrats, okay? $200 just to be a guest, right? $200. I believe seats went as high as $25,000. 25 grand. Okay? To get a ticket. Right? All of those people, maskless. Every single last one of them. And again, I have no issues with people living their lives. But you can't be breaking your own rules and then expect people to take it seriously and then have penalties for other people who break the rules. Again, that's the issue. So let's actually play this video in which this is him getting caught. And I believe that that's not Joe, that's Secret Service, but that's Jill. And that's Sleepy Joe right there. Look at him. He don't care. He don't care. And it's funny because I would say that this was an accident if, let's say, Jill was wearing a mask or Biden was wearing, if one of them was wearing one, I'll say, okay, well, he probably just forgot, right? No big deal. Okay? But the fact that both of them are not wearing one, but yet you have Secret Service behind them wearing it, it just tells you what this is about, right? This is class warfare, right? This is them signaling, I'm the elite, we're the elite, right? These people are not, right? We don't have to follow rules. These people do. Again, it's absolutely insane, right? And in restaurants like this, when you're walking around, when you're taking a seat, you're supposed to wear your mask. Now, when you sit down at a table, you don't have to wear the mask because you're eating, right? But when you get up and you walk around, you have to wear the mask. But apparently not if you're the president of the United States and his wife. Again, it's insane, man. And what's even more insane is that you remember last year, guys, when Trump got the virus, okay, he had to go to Walter Reed Hospital, and how he ended up getting into a vehicle with Secret Service agents, right? And CNN, the way they covered that, they essentially criticized Trump for getting in the vehicle with Secret Service agents, saying that he's putting their lives in danger. Y'all remember that, right? Let me actually remind you. Take a look.
Thank you. Joining us now, CNN political correspondent Abby Phillip and former White House physician William Lang. Dr. Lang, I want to ask you about the drive-by. Did the president needlessly put Secret Service officers at risk for this photo op?
Well, everything you do has risks and benefits. He wore a mask. The Secret Service agents wore a mask, most likely N95 masks, and by all of them wearing N95 masks, you couldn't tell exactly from the pictures, but that's what you would expect has happened. That makes the risk actually very, very small. Is there an increased risk? Maybe tiny, but they took measures to reduce the risk, and that's what it's all about: is risk management, risk reduction.
You gotta also wonder about the president's health.
All right, so you see that, right? So again, the media should cover this, because I could say that Biden going maskless around Secret Service, if he's maskless going into that restaurant, right? The restaurant let him in maskless. They obviously didn't care. He probably was maskless in the car going to the restaurant, right? So I can say Biden is potentially putting these Secret Service members' lives in danger, right? Because he's deciding to go maskless, because he's deciding to break the rules. But you're not going to get that type of coverage from mainstream media. They're not going to say anything about it. They're going to say, oh, the right is just covering this because they want to nitpick everything Joe Biden. No. I am simply doing the same standard that the media did last year, right? When it came to Trump. Washington, D.C.'s Democratic Mayor Muriel Bowser reinstated an indoor mask mandate in July amid the surge of the Delta variant. The Bidens also violated Fiola Mare's mask policy, which mirrors the city's, right? So she did it too. Quote, per CDC guidance and DC Mayor Muriel Bowser's executive order, all individuals over the age of 2 are required to wear a mask indoors regardless of vaccination status. Masks must be always worn while in our restaurants except while eating and drinking. Thank you for understanding, the restaurant's website says. I wondered, did the owner of this restaurant say something to Biden? Right? I wondered, did he go up there and say, Mr. President, you know, you might think you're above everybody in here, but you got to follow the rules just like everybody else, right? Because we're trying to keep people safe, right? That's what it's supposed to be about, right? That's what it's supposed to be about. And furthermore, the mandate applies to all individuals over the age of 2. Now, I know Biden's getting up there in age, but he definitely has the mind of a child, okay? So if children have to wear the mask, the biggest child, the oldest child at the restaurant, Biden, should have to wear a mask as well, okay? Because he's basically a child. Fiola Mare did not respond to Fox News' request for comment in time for publication. Establishments that failed to enforce Bowser's executive order face potential warnings, fines, and revocation of licenses, though the order also notes the enforcement provisions of this order shall not be applied to persons in the federal government or legislative branch of the district government while those persons are on duty. Wait, so basically what it says is that, hey, these rules don't apply to the elites. They don't apply to the government. They don't apply to, the politicians. That's essentially what they're saying, right? That's what they're saying. The Biden's behavior echoed that browser who has repeatedly been photographed flaunting her own mask mandates. Okay, so So again, this right here is just another example of hypocrisy. And the reason why I cover this so much is because last year, I watched how CNN covered everything Trump did at the White House, right? And this is what really red pilled me on a lot of this pandemic stuff, right? I literally remember this exact moment. I was like, okay, this is some BS. Where Trump had an event. I don't recall exactly what the event was, but CNN was covering it, and people at the event were wearing masks and they were socially distancing. And CNN ran a headline that literally said that Trump was having an event at the White House and nobody was wearing masks and nobody was socially distancing, when literally in the video, right, when you're actually looking at the coverage, that's exactly what people were doing. And at that point, I knew that, okay, a lot of this is just political, right? That's what really red pilled me about a lot of this stuff, okay? Because again, if Trump was to do that, what Biden is doing right now, it would be nonstop coverage from left-wing mainstream media. Nonstop coverage, no doubt, right? And we saw it last year. Everything that Trump did was a super spreader event, okay? They call any event he did. Doesn't matter if there was masks, doesn't matter if social distancing. It didn't matter what it was. It was always a super spreader event just because Trump did it. So, hey, you know what? Every single time a mainstream Democrat violates their own rules, I got to talk about it. We have to call it out, right? Because the mainstream media did that to Trump all last year. So, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.